hesitantly doing this.
Yeah.
But in the name of science, I kind of want to test this out.
Right.
So Francisco and I are going to test out happy thoughts and not so happy thoughts, negative thoughts,
Okay.
trashy thoughts. So we hooked up which plant?
This is your plant.
Okay.
The bubble, I call it Bubbles because that's how it sounds to me.
I really like that.
Does it have a name?
That'll be your plant.
We call it Bubbles from now on?
That'll be her nickname. Because that's a legit name, Bubbles.
Yeah.
But I thought...
What was its name before?
It's just plant.
Oh, well, that's the other plant. Wasn't the other plant?
No, that was Snaky Mix.
Okay.
And this is A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Yeah, one of my favorite baseball players. So okay, so we're gonna do this. Hey everybody, happy Freya. I'm Pam Singh, your host, and I'm sitting with no other than Francisco.
Hey.
This is part 2 of the plant podcast. No, it's not a plant podcast, but plants are part of the podcast. In our previous episode, we went over the Francisco story about his background in electrical engineering and how he was inspired by a town in Italy that developed a communication box and device that communicates with plants. I encourage you, I'll have the link in the bio for the first part and segment of the interview. And here we're going to get down and dirty with the plants at the soil level and see what, we're going to hook up some plants here and do a live demo of how this technology works and how, yeah.
And hear the differences.
Yes.
Right now we've been listening to one plant, but soon you'll hear that different plants sound differently. And maybe we'll be able to hear how they interact with us.
Oh, that is so cool. All right.
They're moody, so you never know.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's talk about this box, which I'm kind of going to zoom into. So now that people can kind of get behind the scenes look of what this is all about. But I'm just going to do a close-up of the box here. If you could talk us through that.
Well, the box is just a piece of wood. What's inside of it is an electronic system that basically is wired up to the plant through these probes here.
Okay, so those are the probes we were talking about earlier.
These are actually hair clips, but I found these clips to be the most gentle and effective with the plants because they have a gentle curve and a very gentle clasp. Okay. So as you can hear, there's no sound right now. Okay. But when I connect it to the plant, sometimes.
Okay, and so this is connected to your.
Right, so this box right now, or the system in the box, is connected right now to this computer, which is being used to generate the tone, and then the speaker, it has a speaker system to amplify it. Moving into the future, all that, the computer itself and the board will all be self-contained into one simple box, so that you won't have this crazy system. This is a prototype. Okay. So as I mentioned in the previous interview, I'm looking for financial help and manufacturing help to get that all into one simple box.
So will the laptop still be required?
No.
Oh wow.
The laptop will not be required.
Can I see how it looks like on the laptop? Like, does it catch sound waves or anything, or is it just?
Yeah, you can.
You don't mind?
Go right into the screen itself. I'll get back here.
I know, we're working in a small, tight, we're making it work, people. That's what we're doing. Okay, so here you go.
Yeah.
So what are the, okay, so.
So right now, we're using actually a software program called Ableton Live. Okay. And that's the program that's generating the tone and allowing me to mix the audio so that we can get it out to our ears.
Perfect. So, does this catch only one plant at a time?
Yes. Right now, that's all it can do.
Okay. So let's hook up some different plants then. Let's record.
Yeah.
Like let's try to get in here with the one plant here.
So if we give the audience a moment, we'll actually hear what's been playing, or have a moment to focus on what's been playing, which is, oh, look at that. See, now that this happens a lot, actually. when I give very specific attention to the plant, it kind of goes quiet. And then it starts chiming up again. It's very sensitive to conscious attention.
Yes.
So I'm going to disconnect it now.
Oh,
so,
wait,
actually, no.
We're
going to just listen to the melody. So what's important to recognize is the melody. Which is now changing as we focus on it. That general cadence or that tempo is pretty normal for this plant.
Okay.
This is what I listen to often at home.
It's very calming.
Yeah. So now I'm going to disconnect one of the probes. And the sound stopped. So now we're going to move that to one of the other plants.
This is my Snaky McSnakerson plant. I think a lot of people are familiar with the snake plants. Good for oxygenating the room. So here we go. So we're expecting to hear a different tone, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so here we go.
So we'll see. Might be nothing, could be something very different.
Okay. Or he could be shy.
Or he could be shy. Now, depending on the type of plant, sometimes you have a hard time getting an electrical connection.
Okay.
So I usually lick it a bit.
Okay.
Just to improve that conductivity.
Okay. No way! This is so cool.
I'm just going to isolate it a bit.
Did you just stop?
Yeah, it just stopped. This happens a lot. Hey, guy. Oftentimes I find that if you pet them a little bit,
you're doing good,
give them some attention, because it's not the kind of attention that they're normally used to.
Right. It's like he's out of his environment.
Yeah. And then sometimes I find if I just try a different position,
this is, and he's so, I mean, he might be camera shy.
You could be camera shy. Some plants are camera shy.
You know, I mean, do plants have favorites? You know, like that's...
You mean people?
Yeah, like...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, there you go. See, so... You can kind of hear it a little bit. There you go.
I'll turn up the volume a little.
Yeah.
So this one's obviously a little more chill compared to this one.
Totally. Sharper.
Yeah.
Bit more elongated.
Yeah.
Like with the tone.
Longer notes.
Dragging it long.
Yeah.
And like the pitch seems higher.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys can hear that. Just gonna give the plant a few moments to sing.
We do have a second mic on.
Oh, good. Yeah. Perfect. That was cool. I'm feeling kind of touched right now. Like, it's so weird. It's just like, it's this ineffable experience And
this is your plant, so you have
I have a deep connection with them, yeah.
So you can actually tell us if the sound that it's generating, or the melody, is reflective of the feeling that you get from it.
Honestly, it feels cosmic.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it just feels cosmic for me to hear this right now. It's kind of like, this is kind of weird, but like, you know when a mom is pregnant, right? And they kind of see the baby for the first time?
Yeah.
And they attach the devices and they can hear the heartbeat?
Yeah.
It feels like that for me.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, it's like, oh my gosh, like, I know it's there, like you're saying. And then, like, for the first time, it's like, good on her. That's so cool. Well, thank you, snake plant.
All right. So
All
now
right.
let's move into this little.
So it might be a bit tough.
I don't know. It won't be tough. It's gonna be interesting. I find.
This is plant. I do a lot of posts on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. It's called plant.
It's called plant.
Okay.
So
these leaves are very small and delicate. So hopefully, the weight of the probe. So that should support it.
okay. And you can put it towards the soil and all that.
Yeah, I could just jam this into the soil, but
Okay.
I'm often careful about that because I don't want to damage the roots.
Okay.
So we'll start with the leaves and see what happens.
Whoa. Yeah. Say that one more time, Francisco.
Honestly, I don't think plants have egos like humans.
Because you know, that one sounds whatever than the other.
Yeah. So now we're listening to this guy. It's kind of like a sparkly one.
Yeah, you can really hear the difference.
He's very human. If you listen, very responsive.
Mm-hmm.
These ones are not as responsive, but these smaller plants tend to be.
What can it tell you about your plant's health?
That's a good question.
That I can't say right now. I don't know. I generally, from what I've experienced over the months of listening to them, is that the happy melodic output tends to reflect a healthy plant.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get into, if you don't water them for a while, like if I went away on a trip and didn't water it, and I listened to it, it tended to be either non-melodic or very ugly sounding.
Wow.
So I can't say much more than that right now.
Yeah.
But in the future, as things progress, I would like to be testing multiple plants under certain conditions
Yes.
and relating the sound that comes out of it with those conditions, so we begin to create a database
Yeah.
of the sound in relation to its conditions.
Start doing like a real experiment with it.
Yeah.
That's golden.
Spider plant.
Spider plant.
So
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
We're gonna do the dry one first.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does the dry one have to say?
Okay.
All right. Try that camera.
Oh, cool.
This is kind of it's a dying leaf, so we'll try a greener leaf.
Doesn't have a lot to say, maybe.
No, kind of a meek little guy.
Do you want to water? I mean, is that the dry one?
That's the dry one,
That's-
and then the
should we-
water one.
Should we try water? I mean,
I
are
can
you
give it
okay that we
water.
water it a bit?
It's filtered water.
Okay, let's see how.
It's very
yeah.
good.
Well, look, I think it's
It knows
super
water.
excited about
It
being
knows-
watered.
It's like a boy water.
Are these your plants?
They're like the office
Oh,
plants.
okay.
All right.
All right. So
That's so cool, you
we're
guys.
gonna switch
Thank
to the other
you.
one.
Yeah, let's see what's up with the one that's a bit wetter.
Okay, so this is what it knew it was being watered. That's pretty significant.
It seemed, yeah.
He was like super
Ooh,
excited. Yeah.
It felt the water coming. It was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna get a drink.
Yeah.
Might have to wet it a little. It's always a little tough to connect it without obviously putting some stress on it.
Mm. 'Cause, 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 'cause,
Yeah, it doesn't sound all that different.
No, I was just gonna say they're the same type, right? They're both
Yeah.
spider plants.
Mm-hmm.
Almost a similar rhythmic output, which is what I was like, hey, let's see
Yeah.
if we can test that out just a little bit today.
Yeah.
So that was neat, because I mean, we all heard it today that the cactus sounds different than plant, than spider plant. Yeah. All that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Like I said before, it'd be great to have like 100 of these plants.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
them all and see the consistency.
And see how they sync with each other.
Yeah. This one's usually quite chatty, but also moody.
Oh, we're gonna give her some love here. I'm great that it's actually demonstrating a mood. You know, that the plant is demonstrating a mood.
Yeah. Well, it's an organ now. I just switched the instrument, but I'll switch it back.
Hi, boo.
This one's a lot more relaxed.
Oh my gosh, totally. Like the snake plant.
Yeah. These are not trained plants. They're not entertainer plants. So you really never know what they're gonna do on stage. And anytime I've moved them into a new place, it usually
Takes some time to
gives
adjust.
it, they need a little time to adjust to the new settings.
Plus, some of them are like tropical plants, and I have to say, like, I could tell by my plants, like, it was cold.
Yeah.
They didn't want to go out, and I had to have
Right.
that talk of like, look, you know, you're gonna be on TV. It's your time. I mean, you know, spread the word, spread the love.
Yeah.
Love grows. You're ambassadors now. Gotta go out into the cold. I love.
Yeah, he's just a
But you were
choir
saying
man.
different times of days, right?
That's right.
Different
Yeah.
times of days.
This one, he's actually the most chattiest of them all.
I
that
thought the
have.
one that you brought, like at the beginning there, that one.
This one is,
yeah.
he's like the Zen. He has this constant, simple melody, but
Yeah.
this one, he gets super chatty. I actually called him Chihuahua in the beginning.
Oh no way! So this is
Yeah.
the Chihuahua.
Yeah, this is Chihuahua.
Oh no
But he's
way!
a moody Chihuahua. So, he doesn't always, he just sings when he wants to sing.
So he's just kind of dozy right now.
But that's the nature of these things. You just,
Yeah.
it's unpredictable.
Let's just say the cacti won it hands down.
Yeah. This guy
This
is
little
definitely, this guy's a rock star. We can switch back to the rock star. Because that was really impressive, actually.
So, you know, Francisco, any last words? I mean, here we are in this amazing setting, listening to plants, and you have such a beautiful message to give to the world.
I just want everybody to know that plants are intelligent, and there's a whole unexplored world in that realm regarding plants, and I want to push that forward. And hopefully with the development of this device into a commercial product, which is what I'm looking for help for, that the world will have a very accessible way of having this experience and learning this other dimension, this other aspect of our relationship that we can have with plants.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. All the links in the bio. Thank you, Francisco. Stay tuned for more cosmic episodes. Bye. So, I'm hesitantly doing this.
Yeah.
But in the name of science, I kind of want to test this out. So, so Francisco and I are going to test out happy thoughts and not so happy thoughts, negative thoughts,
Okay.
trashy thoughts. So, we hooked up which plant?
This is your plant.
'Kay.
The bubble, I call it bubbles.
Let's just
So we're going to meditate on
happy thoughts.
happy thoughts.
Okay. Okay, we don't have to say it out loud.
No, it's better that you don't.
All right, and plant. This is for experiment. I'll just okay.
Sounds
so,
happy right now.
yeah. Okay, so we'll just for 15 seconds.
Sure.
Okay.
Does it me, or did it sound like it was actually responding to our thoughts?
Yes,
In the
I did.
beginning?
I felt like,
It kind of went quiet for a moment.
yes, like she knew that something was coming.
It's always cool.
Okay.
I believe this stuff, but I've been an engineering mind, so
Yes.
I'm always sort of analyzing what's really going on here.
But that's cool that you have an open mind.
Yeah.
And we encourage that those watching as well have an open mind and a sense of curiosity when approaching this information. And those who have a knowing, just celebrate. Okay, so, and then plant. So we're going to do negative thoughts.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
man.
only for the sake of science
For the
now.
sake of science. All right,
Okay.
we're gonna do this. All right. Okay, 20 seconds of negative
Dark
thoughts.
thoughts.
Okay.
Dark thoughts.
Okay.
I didn't really get
Oh,
much difference.
well-
Did you?
Well, you know what? She paused a few times,
Yeah.
and it was a bit more sharp in like the drops for me. I felt like the first time it had some smoothness to it,
Mm.
but this one was just. And again, can you expand more on like like that? You know what I mean? It was just kind of like meh, like the flow or whatever of it.
Right.
But can you expand more on like how plants receive it differently?
You mean how other plants have received
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Well, in the experiments we've done, either by myself or with groups of people, it was actually very obvious, especially with a group of people.
Okay.
I think that group energy amplified the emotional. So other plants have demonstrated their reception to these emotional experiments differently, especially in groups. We found that when we have 5 to 10 people, the response was much more effective. I
Okay.
think that combined energy
Okay.
of people definitely amplified. Definitely, because you're having a lot more human consciousness input. Anyway, the point is, when we had a group of people not touching the plant, just sitting around it and giving it happy thoughts or sad thoughts, the plant would clearly respond melodically. So when it was happy thoughts, it was usually melodical stuff like what we're hearing now, but usually high-pitched stuff like the-ling, 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 the-ling. And then when we did negative thoughts, which is often challenging for people to do, but it's for science, it would usually go into these low tones, kind of an ugly sound, or just quiet. It would just silence up.
Pause out. All right.
So,
Well, there you go. There you have it. So that's in the name of science. Let us all prosper and elevate to a new level of consciousness of love and kindness for all. Yeah, great. Awesome.
maybe popcorn would be another good name.
Oh, that's a good one. You know why I went with plant?
What?
It was because of it's an Audrey Hepburn movie. I guess it was Breakfast at Tiffany's, I believe.
Yeah.
And she called the cat cat. So plant was named Plant after that. All right, that's
All
a wrap. Thanks.